Another Friday means another episode of Shaman King, and for those unfamiliar with these reviews, there will be spoilers, but I'm so excited because my favorite character comes in. There is no bias, it has nothing to do with the fact that we have the same name. Let's talk about Shaman King. In the episode titled Another Shaman, Asakura Yoh is confronted by a powerful new shaman called Tao Ren, who seeks to take Amidamru away from our protagonist. And before we dive into this episode of Shaman King, I want to know what you thought. Did you enjoy this episode? Did you enjoy last week's? Check out my review here if you haven't, and let me know all your thoughts on just Shaman King in general, because I love talking Shaman King. That's why we do this. And while you're down there letting me know all of that, kindly consider clicking the subscribe button. It does wonders to get my content out there. The Shaman King reviews, my Hero Academia reviews, all the movie, TV, trailer reactions that I do over here. Make sure to do that, and we can keep on engaging, and you'll always be aware of whenever I upload more great content. So the first 7 minutes of this episode is us getting to know Tao Ren. He confronts Manta right at the beginning. He says he wants to meet Yoh and take Amidamru away from him, and quickly after that, as Manta is nervously explaining to Yoh that there is this new powerful shaman that at least looks very powerful and has this massive Chinese warlord spirit with him, and Yoh just doesn't seem to care until he actually sees Tao Ren, who is in a street. He's being confronted by this group of adult men, it looks like, and he just kicks their ass. He schools them without breaking a sweat. I love seeing Tao Ren doing some kung fu, because I remember in the original show he used to be ripped and always training at the gym, and I just love that about him, so seeing this again is really great. But there is one moment while he's kicking these guys' asses where we see a quick shot of Yoh's face, and as soon as he sees Tao Ren in action, he's like, oh, hold up, this guy is no joke. And as Tao Ren is ready to impale one of those dudes with his lance, Yoh stops him and the fight ensues, and this fight takes most of the rest of this episode, which I really loved. It's a pretty even fight until Tao Ren engages in 100% Yoigatai and shows Yoh that he's not even tapping into 100% of Amidamru's power. This is a great fight. It looks great, beautiful animation. I love these two characters, but it allows us to dive into their ideologies, and they confront each other as Yoh considers Amidamru a friend and Ren only considers Bason a tool. And to make sure he becomes the Shaman King, that is why Tao Ren wants Amidamru, because he's an incredibly powerful spirit, even more than Bason. And Tao Ren believes that their team up would create the ultimate shaman, and therefore the legit winner of the Shaman King tournament. And you could say that this fight is divided in sections, as Ren starts by completely kicking Yoh's ass, even hurting him on his shoulder, drawing blood, even licks the blood off his face at one point and shows that menacing side of him, which just reminds me that the arc of Ren's father Tao Ren is going to be amazing in this show, I'm betting. But eventually, due to all of this and the explanations of Tao Ren, he eats his own words as Yoh is able to 100% integrate with Amidamru and ends up kicking his ass. But not easily. Yoh ends up in a coma in the hospital, but before he wakes up, he has a dream that is a flashback back to his childhood when he started to train to be the Shaman King with his grandfather, and the coming of Tao Ren only reminded him again of why he began this journey and ignited that fire inside of him, which I really like. Again, we have this direction. We can see the direction that the show will go. Even if we hadn't read the manga like some of you have, even if I hadn't seen the original show, we are starting to plant these seeds of story, that's what matters, and heading into this one direction where all these characters are converging because of this supposed shaman tournament to crown the Shaman King. It's also more clear now who the Great Spirit is. When Yoh is talking to his grandfather in the flashback, they talk about God. The Great Spirit is God. It's not like it wasn't obvious in the previous show, but it felt very much like they were afraid to kind of say what it is. Which also to me makes kind of clear the point that Hao wants to become God himself and have the powers of all the spirits. Another element I really liked was the story that Yoh's grandfather tells him about the earth and pollution and humanity and all that coming together, and it's not all that different from how saw things in the past, and I think that's really good, seeing the same things but not turning evil because of it and trying to find another solution. You can be a good person and save the world by becoming Shaman King, not just conquering the world and having only a world of shamans. And speaking of favorite characters, yes, this episode is all about Tao Ren. I love it, he's a badass, but by the end, in comes Anna, Yoh Asakura's fiance, who just slaps the crap out of Monta when he jumps at her asking who she is, and we have that drop for many people. I'm sure if they hadn't seen the show, it's going to be a great surprise. I hope she's much more involved in the action in this show, which, judging by the intro, she will be, so let's hope. I'm open to be surprised. This is yet another episode I really liked. It feels slower because it's just this one section. It's Tao Ren confronting Yoh and there's a fight, and then Yoh wakes up. It's a really small scale episode, which is not bad, slowing things down after that massive premiere episode that we had with lots of events occurring. Thank you so much for watching. You guys made last week's video a success, so I'm very thankful, and I will keep doing this as long as we can engage in conversation about Shaman King. Thank you so much. Check out my review of the second season of My Hero Academia if you haven't done so yet, and also my review of The Falcon and Winter Soldier episode 4, the best episode thus far, as well as episode 5 of Invincible, also the best episode thus far. Thank you so much once more. You are the best. Until the next one, love each other and love the movies.